And I'm glad to have you here. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my allergy season survival kit as a PDF document. It will be linked in the description box below. And I want to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity to talk with you about what has personally worked for me in terms of helping with allergies naturally. So if spring makes you feel sneezy, or if your every breeze carries a pollen attack, this is for you. I've built my personal allergy season survival kit over years of trial, error, and itchy eyes as well. So I want to show you what actually works for me. So every allergy season used to knock me out. I'd stock up on tissues, I'd suffer in silence, and I'd even avoid being outdoors until I started using natural remedies that really helped. And this kit is a blend of ancient remedies, herbs, modern science, and even mom-tested routines that keep my family clear-headed and breathing easy. Mind you, I've got allergies, and so does my son. He has chronic allergies as well, and this is what has been working for us. So let's talk about some quick wins and some fast relief. Let's get started with my go-to fast relief trio. And these are remedies that I don't leave at home without during the allergy season. So I have them with me in my bag, in my little handbag, whenever I go out during the allergy season. Starting with number one is quercetin. Quercetin is a natural antihistamine that's found in foods like onions and apples, but when you take it as a supplement, you take the active compound, and at the same time as well, you give your body what it needs. So I find that yes, we do have a lot of our diets are rich in quercetin high foods, but I do find that there is more effect on our body when I do take quercetin supplements. Next thing is vitamin C. Now vitamin C supports the immune system, absolutely amazing. Now we don't use this in synthetic vitamin C. They use ascorbic acid. We keep away from that. We use the food complex vitamin C. So we either get our vitamin C from food, or we take the vitamin C natural supplements as well. Another thing is local honey. Now local honey is absolutely amazing, and the key here is it needs to be local. It needs to be from the area that you live in, so that way your body gets that defenses against the local pollens. And what local honey does is it trains your body to tolerate pollen exposure. So I take this combo daily. I give it to my children as well during peak season, and I really do feel the difference, I promise you. So let's start with a herbal support system, and these are the herbs that change the game for me. Starting with number one, nettle leaf. Nettle leaf is an absolutely powerful antihistamine. It's anti-inflammatory. I take it myself. I give it to my children in tea format, in tincture format as well. Absolutely amazing. Now for me and my son who are prone to really bad allergies, I've got my 8-year-old who used to his eyes used to crust before the allergy season by a week or two back in Finland. And if you've been living in that area, around that Nordic area, you know that it's very prone to pollen as well. So if most people that I know over there complain of allergies, and he was suffering very badly. His eyes used to crust, his nose was blocked. It was absolutely hideous and terrible for him, a terrible stage of his life. So I gave him nettle tea, and we harvested the natural nettle over there, and I do have a couple of videos talking about taking you out on a forest walk with me as we harvest the nettle, as well as the nettle seeds will be linked in the description box below. So the nettles were an absolute game changer. Took them as tea, gave them as a tincture. Another thing that we tried is Butterbur. Now Butterbur is amazing for helping with sinus pressure as well as sneezing. So my husband used to get chronic sneezing during the allergy season, and his eyes were all red and watery, so that really helped him as well. A third thing that we tried, which is amazing specifically for itchy and watery eyes, I'm talking about the herb Eyebright. We got that as a tincture. And lastly, not so favorite in terms of taste, but it does really help with allergies and overall adrenal health, is licorice root. Now licorice root, it supports irritated throat and it supports the adrenals, and we are not big fans of the taste or the aroma of licorice root, so we don't take that as a tea or as a powder. We just take that as its tincture in dropper form, a glycerin based tincture. Just take it as is, give it to the children, and drink a little bit of water or a little bit of juice afterwards, just so it can wash out. Our family family just personally doesn't enjoy the taste or aroma, unfortunately, but it does have wonderful benefits. And if you can get your hands on some licorice root, that would be amazing as well. So what I do is I don't use these all at once. I rotate them depending on my symptoms, or I even make a custom tea blend, of course minus the licorice root, when I feel the first sneeze brewing. Now, one of the best things that has had a massive impact on us was nettle. So if you were to take anything from this video, it would be nettle tea. And if you even go on YouTube, there's a couple of really good testimonial videos of people who have tried nettle tea, specifically the deconcussion of nettle tea, the concentrated form of nettle tea. They've given it to themselves as well as their children, and it has been a game changer for them. So you might want to check out these videos. If I find them, then again, I will link them in the description box below. And these herbs have saved me from relying on antihistamines every single day. And this has been a game changer for us because we were addicted to antihistamines for a while. But once we did the switch, of course, gradually and slowly, and also letting our doctor know that we are trying these remedies as well, so he doesn't give us any sort of meds that interact negatively, is a really important thing. So always double check with your doctor. So with that being said, let's talk about some DIY nasal rinse routine that I wanted to talk to about. So if I had to choose just one thing that changed my allergy game, actually two things, that would be nettle as well as nasal rinsing. And it clears out the pollen, it clears out the dust and the allergens like magic. So here's what I do. I personally don't do it to my son, I just do it to myself, as well as my husband does it, uses it as well. So I don't really use that method around children. Usually children, you want to be a bit more gentle with them. You want to make sure that everything's all monitored and tracked and careful around them. So what I use is warm distilled water as well as sea salt and baking soda. And I also got a neti pot, or if you don't have a neti pot, you could use a squeeze bottle. But it's best to do this as appropriately as possible. So I use this once in the morning and once before bed during allergy peaks, and that's around 3 to 4 weeks in between the allergy season. That really does peak, and you can tell the difference. Everything in your body is just trying to like give you that hint of, it's a constant sneezing and a little bit of, pain here and there as well in the eyes. So it gives me instant relief and better sleep as well. So let's talk about some diffuser blends that I use for breathing, and I call this my allergy diffuser blend. And I'm talking about 2 drops of peppermint, 2 drops of eucalyptus, and 2 drops of lavender. Beautiful 3 essential oil combo. It opens the airways, it clears the head, and it smells like spa healing. And I use this during the day, and you can also add lemon oil or orange oil as well, specifically in the morning, because it really helps to energize your body as well. You don't want to do it at night, you want to do it in the morning with that lemon combo. Otherwise, you can use the peppermint, eucalyptus, and lavender at night as well to really help with getting everyone to wind down, and also helping with the airways and the sinuses as well. And you will not believe how much lighter your chest will feel until you try this. So get your hands on some beautiful essential oils as well as a diffuser and give this a shot. So we could be talking all day about all these oils and all these supplements that we use in teas and so forth, but if you don't provide your body the support it needs internally in terms of your diet and your food that you take, it's going to be quite difficult, because you can't just take all these wonderful oils and wonderful supplements and still eat processed foods. It's a 50-50 formula here, and what you eat does affect how you react to allergens. So during the allergy season, what I do is I double down on foods that reduce inflammation as well as histamine, and I stay away from foods that peak or that irritate or that trigger the allergens. And that for me and my family is bananas, anything that's mucus, that like builds mucus in the body. So unfortunately it's bananas for us. Another thing is yogurt and dairy. We try as much as possible to keep it to a minimal when we are going through the allergy season, and 2 weeks prior to or before the allergy season as well. So anything that builds mucus in the body, just keep away from it. Then again, dairy, milk, yogurt, all that kind of stuff. Bananas, oats as well for us, unfortunately. So what is the things that I double down on that reduce the inflammation as well as reduce histamine levels in the body? So we're talking about turmeric with black pepper. We're talking about berries, which is a wonderful natural quercetin food source. We're talking about wild caught salmon because it's rich in omega-3, and unfortunately because of the price and the cost of living, it's not become an opportunity lately. It's quite a privilege as well. We did have a lot of wild caught salmon when we were back in Finland, so that's not really an option here in Australia, but there are other wonderful options, omega-3 sources as well, that you can take. And also, one thing that I wanted to add, it's not for everyone if you're a vegan or if you decide not to do it, it's completely up to you, but this has been a game changer for us in terms of food, or in terms of, you know, internal nourishment, is bone broth for gut health, bone broth for immunity support. I've done a couple of videos of my process of bone broth and answering some questions and here and forth, a whole playlist on bone broth. If you want to check that out, that will be linked in the description box below for you to see that whole playlist. So let's talk about some natural lifestyle hacks. And sometimes the best remedies are the simple habits. These lifestyle shifts have made a huge impact for us. So I'm talking about running an air purifier indoors. Absolutely amazing. Really helps with, you know, reducing the dust as well and clearing the airways. I'm talking about showering, changing clothes after being outside. This is exactly the first thing that we did with my son after he started having these terrible allergy spikes. And even when he was on antihistamines, it was taking a bit of a long time to start taking an effect. And I was just panicking. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do now? Because this boy is waking up in the morning with his eyes all crusted, his nose completely, blocked, and he was struggling to breathe. So it became a really big hurdle for us. So as soon as he came back from school, I changed his clothes after being outside. I put him in the shower and I put in some essential oils as well, just in the humidifier as he's showering, to really help with these airways at the same time. And also used to put some black tea bags on his eyes. So once the tea bags, I've done tea and the tea bags have cooled a little bit, they're still warm but they're cooled, they're ready to go, I just put it on his eyes in the morning to help just with that crust, and the tannins in the tea really help to loosen up that crust and nourish the skin through that way. So that was also a big game changer for me. Another thing is closing the windows on high pollen days. And that was a bit of a struggle when the weather was beautiful, the weather was hot indoors, and I just wanted to open the windows. But unfortunately, that was not an option for us. And I did see the difference when we closed the windows on high pollen days. Everyone was just so much better off. And also using sunglasses outdoors. This really helps to block airborne particles. And once I did these consistently, the symptoms were cut in half, let alone trying the wonderful natural remedies that I talked about, the essential oils, the diffusers, absolutely amazing. Just make that a part of your lifestyle. So with that being said, let's just talk about some kid-friendly tips. And as I said, my kids, two of them, especially the 8-year-old, really struggled with allergies. And here is what helped them gently and naturally as well, apart from the tea that I talked about. We did use chamomile and honey tea as well. We did use a baby diffuser blend, which I'm talking about lavender, lemon, and frankincense. You can also use peppermint instead of the frankincense. And we had a no carpet zones for easy cleanup, so we just removed all the carpets, and that really helped as well. Unfortunately, that's not really an option for everyone that lives in a house like a rental with carpets, I understand. But if you do have carpets, just make sure you clean up as often, just to remove all that dust and to really reduce the pollen and the dust inside the house. So simple swaps are really helpful as well. So let's talk about a supplement strategy that was absolutely game changer, and my allergy stack is pretty simple, but it's really effective. So I'm talking about quercetin, vitamin C, and probiotics. Another thing that was really amazing for me is taking NAC. NAC, I've talked about it before, wonderful amino acids, also supporting mucus thinning. So remember when I told you one thing that I did is reduce the foods that build mucus in the body, like bananas and oats and so forth, and dairy. So we took NAC to really help in thinning out the mucus and reducing that mucus in the body during the allergy season. And I take it 1 to 2 weeks before the allergy season starts, because prevention really does make a huge difference. And also when we're taking antihistamines as well, we were advised by the pharmacist to take it 2 weeks before the allergy season. So I applied the same strategy to the supplements and to these changes as well, and that was a game changer. So I started building my system 2 to 3 weeks before the season hits, and this gives our body time to build tolerance, reduce inflammation, and stay ahead of the symptoms. And if you wait until you're sneezing, you're already behind, unfortunately. Also, one thing that I do want to add that was a big, huge game changer, not for me or my son, but for my husband, and that is giving him bee pollen 2 weeks before the allergy season, because he was struggling. And I'm talking about he was struggling when he was, starting from the age of 16 years old. He's currently 40, so he was struggling for years with his allergies, and it was really spiked when he was in Australia for a visit in Melbourne back at 2009. The allergy season was quite rough and harsh on him. So when we came back from Australia to Finland, we decided to make that change, and he took bee pollen, 5 grams of bee pollen, 1 tablespoon of bee pollen every single day for 2 weeks on an empty stomach before the allergy season and throughout the allergy season as well. And he was absolutely amazed at the results of that. So if you have the option of taking bee pollen, 1 spoon of that on an empty stomach 2 to 3 weeks before the allergy season works wonders, especially if it's local as well. Try to get local. So it's important also to understand that you need to track your triggers. So start noticing patterns. What makes your allergies worse? What has helped you the most? I personally track my symptoms like congestion, sneezing, eye irritation, and then I adjust my routine accordingly. And this is also what we do on a constant basis, or we did on a constant basis with my 8-year-old. We had to track his symptoms, and also there will be a tracker, a digital tracker linked in the description box below. If you would like to take advantage of that, you're more than welcome to. And here's my typical allergy day routine. In the morning, I do a nasal rinse and supplements and diffuser. By midday, I have Nettle tea and the air purifier is on. And in the evening, I have a shower, I have a second rinse and a calming diffuser on. Simple, consistent, and it works wonders. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you take advantage of the Allergy Survival Kit ebook linked in the description box below. And remember, natural healing takes consistency, but I promise you the results are way worth it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and have an amazing, great day.